mind doing. This is too close to home.
Nice. So who did you go after on that call?
That's a good question because I don't remember. It was I think it was after Vic and before Trapper. I think after Further Review.
Oh, that's funny.
I might have gone. I went either third or
on the same day.
Same day. Matt and Van won it because I added him into my golden ticket call to congratulate him because I had a line for Tyler about congratulating him for the golden ticket, and then Matt won prior to that, so I added him too.
Did you like?
I just want to I want to say that I have some local sponsors that want me to read some ads for them.
Okay, you want to do this right away?
At some point during this Periscope. So if I cut in and read some ads,
no, go for
it. That's what that is. If that's cool, they want to promote their business like via your Periscope.
Did you talk to my people yet?
I'm going to do that. Okay.
Did you talk to any of my people yet to make sure that that if you get any money?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Absolutely, dude. It's all square, dude. It's all square.
I wanted to say before you take your first call or your first ad or whatever you're doing, for the first time ever, Woodscopes is live on YouTube, on the live YouTube. I don't know. Do they call it live YouTube or YouTube Live or something? Anyhow, look for me. It's under Wood 12 Wood. If you guys are wanting to be the first ones to ever go there, I have 0 viewers right now. You could be the very first. Go.
Right on. I feel that you should probably know that what it's called. If you're on it, you should probably know what it's called. But
that's
all good.
YouTube Live. We're calling it that. All right. So
we're calling it YouTube Live. Good.
Do you have any of those advertisers on right now?
Yeah, I do. And I'll get into them. When they get their chance. Whatever.
All right. Okay. Back to the Smack Off call. You went after. Who did you go after on that one? Who was your target?
Are we talking during the Smack Off or are we talking golden ticket? What are we doing here, Wood?
Golden ticket,
bro.
What
is going on here, Wood?
I don't know. I'm going to hang up now. No, I'm joking. Okay, so you golden ticket call. You said you wanted to take down some names. No, are you saying that you did that during your Smack Off call? Are you there? But
I'm
Benny.
Here. That's funny that you asked that because that question is sponsored in part by Randy's Handjob. And I'm just reading this ad here. Okay. Randy's Handjob. Are you unemployed? Are you an unemployed wedding ring model? Do your hands have what it takes to make it in the cutthroat world of glove modeling? Well, lube yourself up and come on down to Randy's Handjob. Randy will pull and tug on you until you have completed your goal of getting that elusive hand career. That's Randy's Handjob coming to a location near you.
Yes. Thank you, Randy's Handjobs. Okay, so you get the
thanks, Randy. That was fucking weird. I don't know.
That was weird. Ask him if I could use him as my sponsors as well. But do I have to wear a T-shirt? I'm not wearing the T-shirt today. Sorry. All right.
Just wear the hand. You're good.
There you go. So you win the golden ticket, and it's on a day that Matt in Vancouver wins it. At that point, when Jim Rome says, and you're after your call was after Matt in Vancouver, correct?
Correct.
Did you think to yourself like, "Fuck, I'm done"? What's the point? Like, he already gave out 15 golden tickets, and what's the point of even doing this?
Absolutely, the thought crossed my mind. Like I didn't ever think that like my call wouldn't win a golden ticket, but he said, you're right. He had given out a bunch of golden tickets at that point.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, am I too late? Should I have called with this a couple days before? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But in the back of my mind, I had a lot of confidence in the call I had because it was just funny enough and just stupid enough, and I was kind of a fan favorite, I think, in the studio. So
nice.
I don't know. I gave it and I won it, and it worked out.
And at this time, you already knew you were going to California. Like you had your plane
Correct.
tickets in your back pocket. You're like, what do I have to lose? So yeah, you want it. Like I think at this point, Dan, did he have a ticket at the time?
I don't know if he did or not.
Tyler had one. You know who didn't
Tyler
have one?
had one. Matt had just won his, and I think at that point Dan's was like in limbo. Like maybe he had won his and lost his, and like people, there was a kind of a period there where people were kind of baiting Dan to like lose it to get his golden ticket helicopter. So he was getting fucked with.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his status was at that point, whether he had one or whether he didn't. But
did Rick
he had to battle for a while.
Rick and Buffalo, did he win one last year, or was that just all this year? I think he did, but he lost it right before the smack off, right? I don't know if you remember.
I don't know.
Do we have any more sponsors?
I don't think he had one. I think this is his first smack off. Dan's? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So now you're hopping on a plane. You're going to California. Is it the day of, the day before, a week before? What's going on?
Day before, I was in California from about 9 a.m. California time, Thursday morning until like Friday night.
All right.
California time.
Okay.
So I was there for like, I don't know, 36 hours or so.
Okay.
I was in California.
Who picked you up at the airport?
Nobody. I took an Uber from the airport to a hotel resort area that was near Left's place, really near Left's place,
right.
and met him there.
Yeah.
I met Les at this place. He said, take an Uber here, and we'll listen to the show. We'll hang out for a little bit. And it was Les and his child. And we listened to the show the day before the smack offs, which is it was crazy. It was fun.
So, yeah.
The show before the smack offs is all a bunch of
but not only that,
people talking shit.
Exactly, but you were sitting with Left and Laguna, and Jim Rome decides to play one of the greatest calls of all time while you're sitting with the greatest caller of all time. How bizarre was that?
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. It was funny because Left fucking hates hearing his own voice, and
I did too.
Hearing his own call, so it was fun to watch him squirm a little bit. In the meantime, his son is sitting there, and we're throwing Starbucks straws at him, playing with him. But it was funny because Left was so uncomfortable.
Was he at all like, yeah, check me out, yeah, just like at?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Was he like acting like, yeah, check me out, you know what I'm saying, like? I'm Left
not
and Laguna, you're in my car.
Not at all. He was more disappointed than anything. I don't know if he had ever heard that call before.
Oh, like was it?
More than once or twice live, but he was shaking his head. It was pretty fun. That's what made it great. So he was squirming a little bit.
When Adam Hawk was on the Belligerent Canadians podcast, he asked him if he ever listens to his Smack Off call, and Matt said that he likes to listen to it often because it gives him, it's like game tape for him. What about you? Like, do you ever just go back and listen to your Smack Off call?
I don't. I have, and it hasn't been until recently.
Yeah.
I checked in on a Golden Bake scope, and he played a couple of my calls, and one of them was a Smack Off call.
Right on.
And I don't know how the call I made last year cracked the top. Whatever, I don't know. It sounds like shit to me. My own voice sounds like shit to me.
I know that.
And I don't know. It's just weird. And some of the lines were great. Some of the lines were fine, but looking back on it and then looking forward, there are a lot of things I can improve upon. And I don't know.
Okay.
I'm glad I listened back, but not glad I listened back because I sound like a fucking fool.
I was talking to Left the other day, and I said, dude, have you and Benny ever thought about like just doing a tandem call together? And he goes, we did last year. I'm like, well, when? And he's like, during Benny's call. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I had to go back and listen to it. I didn't realize that was him saying, hey, Romy, Romy, you know, and it's like, I didn't realize that. I thought that was you saying it. But anyhow, going back to you being shocked that you were in the top 5, hold on a second, dude. You, in my opinion, were probably the best smack call from start to finish. And I'm not just saying that because you're a Wisco boy. I listened to all those calls the day. I mean, I was at work all day long. I got off work. I went home and I stuck nutted everything. Dude, I don't know if it's because you were the fresh new face in the smack off or not, but it was like, it was different. It was fresh. It wasn't just you talking about rats and cheese and all sorts of different. But you threw that in there, which kept your brand. And dude, I gotta applaud you. That was one of the best calls of the year. If you're talking from start to finish, just being on the phone and not trying to get like a Terrence on the phone. You know what I'm talking about? So
yeah, absolutely, dude. You know, and I'm never gonna doubt my writing, and I'm never gonna doubt my ability to like make fun of people or to, as gay as it sounds, make cheese puns about shit. But I mean, I like on paper, I thought the call was fucking funny.
Yeah,
and it turned out to be pretty good. But you know, combine that with like hearing myself and me trying to react to other callers and stuff, and
yeah.
I wasn't impressed with myself. And I guess you can pull the Maddie and Ben game tape line on it, but you know, there's a lot to improve on, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so we're backing up. Your smack off day. You're in a hotel room. You're not staying with Left, are you? You're staying at a hotel, right?
Well, Left stayed with me. I was at a hotel.
Okay.
He stayed with me. We cuddled.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we spooned a little bit.
We knew that. There's videos.
We did all that. We did all that stuff that everyone else does.
Oh, thanks, Evan. By the way, I appreciate you sending me that video.
Yeah, no problem. I'm surprised it's not playing in the background. But no, I'm at Hotel Irvine, which is where everyone is crashing for Les call, and we get up pretty early in the morning. And there's a hotel full of legends there. Everyone on Les call. I actually meant to write everyone's name down so I didn't fucking forget, like I did in Maddie and Van's podcast. But you just look at the picture and everyone's there.
Yeah.
Plus like 10 more. So we're, I go up to my room and I know that's going to be part of my call, so I'm expecting him up there.
Yeah.
He brings Den Lesks, he brings Silk Bra, he brings Terrence and Sierra Madre, he brings
Den
Lesks has a buddy there.
You had Terrence in your room while you were calling? You had Terrence and Sierra Madre in your room as you were calling. Dude, I would
Terrence and Sierra Madre was in my room when I made my call, and he actually gave me like an approving look after my call was done.
I'd be worried.
So that made my weekend right there.
I would have told him to go wait in the hallway, man. He would have I'd fear that he'd be jumping in the middle of my call.
Well, you can't smoke cigarettes in the hallway, so that's why he wasn't out in the hallway.
How nervous were you?
He's ripping cigs out my balcony.
That's all right.
I was nervous. I was nervous from the get-go.
Right.
Because a lot of it had to do with the people that were in my room, but
yeah, of course. What kind
of? A lot of it had to do with actually being part of the snack off and like wanting to go right away and hearing the opening tunes and hearing the first couple of callers, Brad and Corona, Vic and NorCal, just like being part of it is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And being on hold and being like, maybe I'll get on, maybe I won't. I think I'll get on, but maybe I won't,
So it
was crazy.
Oh, man.
And right before my call, another dude walks into the room like, come on in, man, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sitting on hold. I do a chord on the phone, and it turns out to be Ben Mesrick, the one who's writing about the whole weekend.
Ben Gulliver.
The reunion, everything.
Ben Gulliver, right?
Thank God I didn't know that it was him.
Yeah.
Before my call, otherwise I would have shit the bed right there, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. So what kind of mental prep did you? I mean, like, did you try to like? Was it worse? It was worse that the guys weren't in there for sure. But like, did you like when you call the show? Typically, do you like tell yourself like ahead of time, like, okay, what do I gotta do to make sure I'm not so nervous? I know that's kind of weird, but the first time I called, I tell everyone I almost shit my pants, and the second time it was a little easier. Yesterday was a lot easier, even yet. So,
yeah, that's how it goes. You know, you just kind of get used to it. You're nervous. You're always nervous when you call, but
yeah,
you just kind of get used to it. And that day I didn't get used to it. You know, it was just like it's fucking smack out day. The music hits when I'm on hold. I'm on hold like 10 minutes before the show starts because I want my spot.
Yeah.
So the music hits, and then you're like, holy shit, this is real now. And then all of a sudden I got a fucking crowd in my room. And yeah. Oh no, it's crazy.
I would have told everyone to get out, man. I mean, except for left, just because there's no way. I mean, but I guess here I am yesterday. I'm on my scope, so I guess I would. I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
You can't. Dude, you see Silk Bra. You meet these people that you've like quasi known for a really long time.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Quasi
you can't kick them
out,
like,
for sure. I guess you can't. I don't know.
I'd never do that. It was funny shit.
I think if Stucknut was here, I'd ask him right now, where do you project Benny in next year's Smack Off call? I bet you it's top 3. Not just saying that. Ones if you agree, because I know everyone here does. You watch it, Benny. You watch it.
Oh, dude, I'll win it next year, man.
Oh, you'll win it all for sure. But yeah. Anyhow, okay. So you said you got done with the Smack Off call. What was your feeling like the second you hung up the phone? Like, oh shit, or was it like yes?
You know what? God damn it! Hold on a sec.
Oh, we got another sponsor.
Yeah. This comes from Tony's Tables, and this is just a piece of paper I have in front of me, and I'm just going to try to play the part because this is how it was left for me. All right.
All right.
All right. Listen, asshole. You got a problem with your fucking table? You got some leg busted on it, and top all fucked up or some shit? Bring it on into Tony's Tables. We'll dress it up all nice for you. And if you don't like it, we'll rearrange your fucking kneecaps. That's Tony's Tables. You got that, you prick? All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Tony's got to fucking settle down a little bit, dude. I'm sorry about that.
All right. He's also a bookie. All right. So you get done with the Smack Off call. Your thought. You're like, holy shit, I made it, or holy shit, I fucked up.
All right. That's fun to talk about because my whole Smack Off call is in front of this audience in my hotel room, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the landline in the hotel room, my hotel line that I secured with Hawk before the show started.
Of course.
Had a nice little conversation with him. So I'm stuck. I'm anchored to that thing. I'm sitting on my bed with my phone, with my landline to my head, and everyone's all spread out around me, and they're doing whatever they want. They're just kind of just chilling, whatever. It's 9, 10 in the morning their time, and I get on and I deliver my call, and people are looking at me and laughing. Everyone's fucking watching me. I've never had anyone watch me during a call before.
Yeah.
And everyone's watching, and then they start laughing. Like Silk Bra especially just starts fucking bouncing in the chair. And, he's got his mouth over his face. He's fucking laughing. And one of the lines was about him, and he lost his shit there. He almost, made a lot of noise about it. So I knew, I was getting a good reaction for it. I slammed the phone down, and I had fumbled a couple lines toward the end, and I was pissed pissed off about how I started.
Yeah.
And the call's done, and I was confident about it, you know.
Yeah.
It was cool. I knew aside from those minor fuck ups, I knew I was all right. And I figured I was good. You know, I knew that. Yeah. I had heard Brad's call before. I had heard Vic's call before. Brad jumped on the sword. He was done, which was good because I think he could kill anyone at any given point. And Vic's call was dog shit, so I knew I had him beat. And you know, it was the rest of it. I was waiting for everyone else.
Yeah.
I knew that my call was really good. And
what was the reaction of the guys?
I felt really strong about it. They were laughing, dude. They were laughing. They were, you know, congratulating me and stuff. And,
yeah, of course. Okay.
And that gave me confidence as well.
That's awesome. So, like, you totally relieved. Did you down a couple beers the second you finished your call, or did you down a couple beers beforehand?
Yeah. We got into some beer really early. The night before, we had gotten a little loose at the hotel with all the legends, with all of everyone that was involved in Left's call, plus like a handful more. We had gotten a little loose in the lounge, and it was tons of fun. We shot the shit. I got to shoot the shit with, you know, Trapper, and Terrence, and Kerwin, and Ira.
Dude, those names, man. Just listen to yourself for a second. That's awesome.
Randall, CEO. Just everybody, you know. Yeah.
So what? And, like who like? Sorry to interrupt, but who was like the one guy that like was so surreal when he shook his hand? I mean, maybe it was Left when he picked you up, or maybe it was, you know, Silk. I don't know. Like, who was it?
I think the most iconic handshake I had was with the bellhop, who said he didn't know who the fuck any of us were. I was like, you're probably the only real person I'll meet all weekend long, dude. No, but for real, Trapper is one of the coolest dudes ever, dude. You know that. You've had him on.
Yeah, he is awesome. He is awesome. I don't know.
He's everything. He's everything you hear about.
Yeah.
You know, his calls are boring as shit, but he's a classic old dude. He's a fucking schmoozer. He's money, dude. He's really cool.
I want to be that cool when I'm his age, you know. I don't know how old he is, but he's much older than I am, that's for sure. So you finished call.
Just wear a cowboy hat, 5 shots of Patron, and hit on every waitress that comes over, and you'll be good to go.
I can pull that off. Maybe not. All right, so you finished call. Okay, it's later in the day. Left and Laguna gets his trophy. You guys, where are you at now? Are you in the studio at this point?
Okay, so we finished our part in the studio. We go down. We hear the results. We were told to go back up because everyone that was in Left's call was going to record part of the podcast. And here's where, like, my favorite part of the weekend probably comes up is when we're sitting behind the glass with, I'm standing next to Chad in LA and Randall, a couple others that aren't like old school dudes that were part of like the recording for the podcast after. So on the other side of the glass, with Rome, with everyone else, we're recording this podcast. Meanwhile, me and a handful of other fucking hooligans are behind the glass with Alvy, with Hawk, with Keith Arnold, with Austin Hop, and I start just ripping the shit out of Trapper when he's talking to the pie. He starts into this long ass story about fucking what's his nuts from New Jersey, and you know, just start tearing into him. Just start making fun of Trapper with like the whole staff while Trapper's talking about
And it's soundproof back
God
there, right?
knows what.
It's
you know,
soundproof.
and we're like, I'm like cracking up the rest of the staff watching this, and that was like my favorite part of the whole shit. Like me and Chad and LA are like standing back, like making fun of Trapper, who was part of this momentous occasion. And that was that was funny shit.
You know, Trapper.
And then after that,
yeah.
After that, we all go to Huntington Beach, a bar called Legends in Huntington Beach,
Correct.
where they're recording a local sports show, Petros and Money.
Yeah, I know that.
And their guest that day is Jim Everett.
Small world.
Which is you can't write irony like that, you know.
No, you can't. Like, what are the odds of that? For those newer clones that are listening right now, the history is just Google Jim Rome. There's going to be a video that you're going to see where Jim Rome was talking to Jim Everett, and I think it was ESPN at the time in the studio, and Jim Rome keeps calling him Chris, and Jim Everett is like, don't call me that again. If you do it one more time, you're gonna have to go to commercial break. I'm gonna kick your ass, basically. Jim Rome at the time is Jim Rome at the time. So he says Chris, and next thing you know, the table goes flying, and Jim Rome goes flying, and Jim Everett goes flying, and then it goes to commercial break, and that's history right there. So after the Smack Off call, you got Petros and Money, and they're interviewing none other but the one Jim Everett. Like, what are the freaking odds?
and 20 plus of us are sitting out in the beer garden, hanging out, noticing this. And of course, the two people that you would pick out of everyone to go to Jim Everett and be like, come out and say hi to us. Randall and Trapper go out to him. I don't know who sealed the deal or whatever, but 15 minutes later, this dude comes running out of the alley into the beer garden, grabs the first table near round and goes, is this fucker secured on the ground? And it's, he's joking. He's grabbing the table. He's joking. It's Jim Everett. And everyone's like, oh, holy shit, dude. So he came and said hi, and he couldn't have been cooler.
That's awesome.
It was, took pictures with everyone and shit. It was crazy.
What, a Wisconsin boy being in California, I'm guessing you don't go there as often as I imagine. Did you run into any other celebrities while you were there, other than Jim Rome and Jim Everett? No. I think my claim to fame on that trip was I got to shake Jim Rome's hand and Jim Everett's hand the same day. That's weird. What are the odds of that? What was Jim Rome like when you met him? When you shook his hand? And what did you guys talk about?
He was short. It was. I think I shouldn't get shook his hand after the podcast, but he said, hey, you had a great call today, and then, I didn't want to take up too much of his time, but he was short. Dude, the biggest takeaway I had from Jim Rome was that he's a fucking machine, dude.
Yes, he is.
He's, even when he's asking, like, ad-lib podcast questions with all of these dudes who he didn't know was going to be around, like, he was very succinct and very he was like a machine, dude. It was amazing. And I was like, geez, good. Yeah. And I even, I think, and Hawk was at Legends afterwards with his wife and child, and I shot the shit with him, too. And I had talked to him about it. I was like, dude, that dude's a machine, man. He's like, there's no accident that he's the best in the biz. And Jake Stu was there, too. I said the same thing to him. I was like, dude, is he always like that? He's like, yeah, he's a fucking machine, dude.
Can you imagine?
So that was like my biggest takeaway my big takeaway from that is that Rome is like all about it, dude. There's no off time with him. He's always at it and he's good at it.
Yeah.
And Jay Stu and Hawk said the same thing. They're like, dude, there's a reason he's been the best in the biz for 20, 30 years. Yeah. And that's how it is.
And that's the thing, Benny. It's like when you think about, like, people ask, like, why isn't anyone else out there getting, like, they don't last as long as he does, or if they do, they don't have the type of reputation he has or the fan club that he has. And the reason for that is because he doesn't he breaks the freaking mold of sports radio, and it's not like the Mount Rushmores. It's not like the let's talk about Tiger Woods all day. When we're talking about Tiger Woods, we're talking about Tiger Woods getting arrested. You know, it's you know what I mean? And it's good sports radio, you know? And dude, you got to experience something that few people have. You got to sit behind the glass on a day that might be the most iconic day in the jungle in history, and witness like just going through the line. You got Rich and Copyright Hills and Silk Bra and Trapper and people like CEO. A lot of people don't know CEO, but dude, he's a big part of the jungle. And
oh, dude, Jim Benton, Coach Tom, all those dudes, man.
Exactly, man. It's Kerwin. You were in the studio at the same time as Kerwin. That's never happened before, dude. Congratulations. I'm jealous. I'm hoping that day will happen again, and I just happen to be there. So that's really cool.
Totally worth the trip, dude.
I believe it.
Totally worth the trip, man.
Your very first phone call to the Jim Rome Show. What was that like?
That was a product of. Let's see. I had been prior to calling the show. I emailed a shit ton to the show.
Yeah.
I had emails read all the time. And I had this, God, dude. I still regret it to this day because I probably wouldn't be a caller if I hadn't. Plus, life would be a lot easier if I hadn't made this email into a call. But there was like some bullshit like Vendetta sponsored Guns N' Roses tickets being sold or not sold, but given to the best content provider for 2 weeks straight. So every day, he was giving away these tickets and airfare.
All right.
For Live Nation GNR concerts.
Live Nation and all
and
that.
I'm thinking, sweet, I'll take airfare and I'll fucking bootleg the tickets and we'll have like a nice vacation wherever the concert is. You know? Hush, hush, but I got this email written up, this Rat Family email written up, this legendary fucking Rat Family email written up. And, I submitted, at that time, KB was the EP, and he was reading my shit pretty consistently.
Yeah.
And this email wasn't getting read, and I knew it would be like the best content of the day or whatever. And I came to the last day, and I was like, fuck, should I call it in? Like, this needs to surface because it's funny as hell. And so I called it in, and it went over pretty well. And that's what like started the whole like Benny Rat Family thing.
All right.
So then every single call after that had to be like that, you know.
What like okay? So were you? What was your nervous level then? First call to the gym.
It was. Surprisingly, it was all right.
All right.
It was nerve wracking because I think I'd maybe called once before when KB was hosting.
Okay.
I think I called as Donnie in Duluth before his Twitter handle ever existed.
Yeah.
I called as Donnie in Duluth to KB, and so I had like some time under my belt, but I was a little nervous. But I knew that like I formulated my email into a call so it wouldn't sound like complete shit.
Yeah.
And
oh, rest in peace. Is he back alive, Donnie in Duluth?
I've heard he is. Actually, I got a follow from him recently.
That's crazy. What are the odds?
God, I hope he's still like shitting everywhere and making good farts and fucking Barb's jugs or whatever he does.
When you I'm not gonna get into your personal life at all, but are you a daytime worker or a nighttime worker?
Interesting. I don't have to answer to a lot of people, but
okay.
I have a lot of time that I'm able to listen to the radio while I'm working.
So when you call a show, is it like usually on a day off, or is it call from work? You able to close your door and just reference the my business. You can say it, you can just tell me fuck off if you want. But I just kind of curious.
Well, first I'll tell you to fuck off.
All right.
Just because. But no, when I make a call, like I said this on Maddie and Van's podcast. Usually when I make a call, I'm like sitting in my car. All right. I'll leave the office. I'll find a corner office at work or something. It won't be like. I won't have anything to do with work while I'm doing it, but
okay.
Usually I'm by myself, either in my car, on my phone, or whatever. I can get away. So, it's easy for me to get away.
So let's segue that into like previous jobs. I know you kind of talk a little bit about that. That you've had some crazy jobs.
Yeah, dude. Let me ask you, the host, a question. What's the best job you've ever had?
The best job, oh geez. You know what? To be honest, is probably delivering pizzas.
Yeah, I can see that. That works.
That was fun because you get to smoke weed in the car and listen to music and eat off of people's pizza. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Absolutely. As long as you're not, 35 years old.
Cool. Or 41. Yeah, no, I haven't done that since I was 18. But, that was a fun job. Thanks, Kyle. What about you? What was your best job ever?
My best job ever, I worked for a canoe outfitter in the Northwoods of Minnesota. It was a summer job when I was in college. I did it for 2 summers. I drove a fucking towboat, which is
nice.
A 17-foot-long John boat with canoe racks on it. And I would take people. First of all, I would wake up in the morning. My boss would say, "Hey, these people need a tow to Hook Island."
Uh-huh.
And I would drive them 15 minutes from where our outfitter was to the lake where my boat was parked. And I would drive them a half hour through this beautiful fucking lake in northern Minnesota, border of Canada.
Keith Arnold just asked, what lake was that?
Lake Saginaw.
Saginaw. All right, go ahead.
Saginaw. Saganaga. Saginaw.
Saginaw. Have you heard of it, Keith? One if you have, 2 if you haven't.
I worked for a place called Tuscarora Canoe Outfitters. There were one of about 5 up in that area. But
that's Facebook.
So I had this towboat partner. His name was Josh. He was a cool shit. He still is a cool shit. We're still pals. But
Josh Detroit?
He was a fucking animal, much like myself. All right.
Go ahead.
We would drive customers. They would be just beautiful summers, As warm as